Pat Mayo Experience.
Welcome to the Pat Mayo Experience, powered by DraftKings, the Farmers Insurance Open DraftKings picks, underdog drafts, maybe your questions, because we're live on Mayo Media YouTube. You need to be subbed to Mayo Media in order to ask yourself a question, or you can just watch it on demand. If you're watching this on demand on the podcast feed, please rate and review the Pat Mayo Experience on Apple and Spotify. 5 stars, nothing less. Ben Rasa from Stochastic, from Odd Shopper, Tails. He's everywhere these days, but he's not doing his walking bets in the snow as of yet. But that could change this afternoon.
What's going to be changing? We got a lot of snow. There's a big opportunity for me to get out there. And I think I'm going to do that, actually. It's a perfect time because we got a lot of snow here. No ice, but we got a lot of snow.
You strike me as a condoman or an apartmentman, not a houseman, that someone else is taking care of your snow removal.
This is all, even if I was in a house, someone else would have to take care of it because I am not capable of doing anything that would involve shoveling massive amounts of snow. So, but that is true. It wasn't bad. Took care of it, avoided the heart attack. They say shoveling's like the most dangerous activity. So I try to avoid that.
You and Cust share that same thing. Cust told me it took him seven hours to shovel his driveway, and he spent more time on break than actually shoveling. It took me 23 minutes to shovel mine.
Yeah, I could see all of that happening, actually. But no, it's good. Like I said, it's perfect golf weather if you're not golfing, but to watch golf. This is prime watching golf conditions.
Few updates to the field. Michael Kim is out of this tournament. He WD'd. Patton Kizzire is also WD'd from the tournament. Nico Echeverria did you watch him make the 9 on number 17 last week by chance?
I saw a couple of those. I think Jimmy is that his name?
Yeah, well, he's Jimmy Stranger. He can't play. He sat on his hand. It hasn't got unnumb yet, so he can't play. Giving himself the stranger at home. WDing.
Yeah, there was some tough goes there. Obviously, the tournament, it was cool until it wasn't, and then Scheffler just ended all hope of anything positive happening for me.
So, yeah, Suber and Lanto were the last two in, and then Hunter Logan, Jeremy Paul, Henrik Norlander, and Thomas Rosenmuller qualified for this event. Rosenmuller might be a really good look here if he ends up getting put in the DraftKings system. I only say that because he's just Mr. Tee to green. He absolutely bombs it and can't putt. Like, those are the type of guys that we want to target. I've been just clamoring. I wrote about it, talked about it on the research show. I won $20K in the first round in Showdown last year. I've been clamoring for these Showdown contests to come out. They have not hit the lobby yet. I assume they are waiting for the tee times to be released so everyone can be in the field. And they can price people accordingly to the North and South course.
Yeah, it's such a ridiculous. Like, obviously, we had 3 courses last week, but you have the stadium course and then you had 2 exploitable courses. This is such an extreme between the South and the North. So I assume that's what they're doing. And I didn't even know he was he doesn't have a price, correct?
No, because he does. He's $6,500.
Oh, I'm not paying attention. I didn't even know he was in the field.
Well, here we are. Now this is why we're doing the show, so we can inform each other and the people all at the same time.
You're not wrong, but yeah, I could get down with that.
BetSpertsGolf.com to use the rabbit hole. The optimizer is up there. If you want to use the classic lineup builder at FantasyNational.com, that's available right now too. All of the site stuff should be almost done. I think they need to load in the Amex, and that's it. But they were redesigning the back end of the site. If you are a Fantasy National member and you haven't been able to log into your BetSperts Golf rabbit hole account yet, email support at FantasyNational.com. They will give you the login for that. It's like 10% of people have been affected by this, that just for whatever reason, it's not crossing over. We haven't forgot about you. You have access. You had it last week too, and they put out the tweet. But Ben, sometimes when you put out emails and tweets, people don't see it.
I know how that goes. But yeah, we'll be all good. And I don't know. I like this tournament. I'm just a little unsure. This is why I'm excited to do the show. I'm a little unsure of exactly how to build this week.
Do you have a preference for skill sets here? Because I think that everyone wants to go bomb and gouge. I would put myself half in that camp. For playing Showdown, I want the most bombers possible at the North Course. That's who I'm stacking up. But for the overall tournament, I think when you start looking at some of these people that have won, Jeff made a really good point that it's usually like major quality guys that play well in difficult majors tend to do really well over the 3 rounds at the South Course, and they end up appearing on the leaderboard by the weekend. You can bomb and gouge your way here, but you need to be able to do other things well too, because you hit 50% of the fairways. Green regulation is super low, so you need to be able to get up and down. You have to be able to chip, and these greens are petrifying if you've never been on them before, because it's 3-putt city from like 3 feet.
Yeah, it's super difficult. And it is that kind of mentality. Like you need to, I know a lot of these are cliches, but like manage your mistakes of, get good bogeys at times and just keep it together. And all of those are synonymous with US Open type, situations at times. So I will look to clearly the Bombers. I get that. And you certainly need to score on your lone round with the North, but there are I don't know, like I think of like Justin Rose type players of guys that just know how to manage and kind of grind through it. And then before you know it, it's Sunday and you're only a couple shots back.
So I have sorted the rabbit hole. I just put on the conditions, and I didn't do this one on the research shows. It's brand new to this show. Smash a like because you like to have more stats. You can look all the stuff up yourself. I went to long and very long courses. This is the longest course in the typical PGA Tour course rotation, the South Course, which is over 7,700 yards. For reference, the North Course is like 7,200 yards and still a par 72. It's super easy, unless it gets super windy, like it did in the second round a year ago. And then I put on the filters of difficult to very difficult conditions, and then sorted by players. And I put on like a min for rounds, because Hao Tong was second, but he had like 4 rounds or something like that. Not that I don't like Hao Tong this week, but he just kind of sprays the ball all over the place off the tee, which is fine. It's not even that he sprays it all over the place, Ben. It's that he misses right all the time. Dude can't hit a fairway. He's just in the right rough, which isn't the worst here.
Yeah, again, you're going to have to be able to manage the mistakes, minimize the mistakes, and he's kind of got some of that. But it's true. I mean, even last year, like we're going to talk about a lot of Bombers, but we're also going to talk about some Harris English like players. So I do think some of that stuff can be overblown, and you don't want to just throw out some of those guys that do it a little differently.
Here are all of the players averaging over 1 stroke on the field per round. And some of them have 15 rounds, some of them have 33 rounds. But Harris English is number 1 over the past 18 months with 33 rounds. McNeely is right behind him at number 2. Keegan, Ludwig, Xander, Goddard, Matt Wallace, who is $7,100 this week. Those are the full collection of players, all 7 of them that are averaging over a stroke per round on long and difficult scoring conditions. After that, you go to Spawn, Hideki, Grazerman, Siwoo, Aaron Rai. Finau is somehow still in there. I'm not playing Finau.
Dear
Davis
God.
Riley, Denny McCarthy, Jason Day, Pendrith, Cantlay, Akshay, Sam Stevens, Wyndham Clark, Ryan Gerard. These are the type of guys. And the only ones that pop up under, $8,000 here of these top guys. I mean, Finau 7,000, Grazerman 74, Wallace is 71, Davis Riley's 65. Akshay is 74, Stevens is 78, Denny 75. There's just, I get Rye is 77, but most of these are the elite guys for a reason.
No, and that's just going to lead us. You're going to have a lot of flexibility when you build this week. It's only Tuesday, but I did poke around and make some lineups, and there was no opportunity cost. It wasn't like last week where you're paying like 18,000 or whatever, 25, that whatever Scheffler is these days, and it's just insane. You're going to be able to make really balanced lineups with a lot of guys in the 7s that look pretty damn good here.
So if you click on the expert models section, I'm listed underneath an expert. Keith and I will do one more based off his experience at the course, walking the grounds. He may have played Torrey a couple times. We'll build another one on the Wednesday morning show to see if that gives us slightly different results. But I ran my Torrey V1 model, and if you're looking for guys, it's very similar names that pop up, except if you're digging down deep, it came up with Goddard. Sorry, Goddard's 9,000. It's probably not him. Higo, Whaley, Kevin Roy, Sexy Roy. I'm going to be in on Roy Toy this week. And then it's like Patrick Rogers at 72. Patrick Rogers is going to be outrageously owned, isn't he?
Yeah, I can tell you from many, many, many personal experiences that that's not a great thing. But yeah, there is a profile. But the thing I like about this is there are so many guys in similar ranges that you can pivot to. So if there is some ownership that kind of amasses in certain, the low sevens, say like a Patrick Rogers, Novak is there, Whaley is there, Matt Wallace, who I hadn't really considered, How Tom. There's so many guys right there, and then I've got Bez for me that I'll probably look to.
I could go back to Alex Smalley this week. I think he's at $7,200.
72.
Yeah, I think that's where he's at.
71. Is he 70? Okay, yeah, I found him.
He's right in that range. But let's just go to the optimal. We can throw it up on the screen and show the peoples what it spat out for me. And it is Akshay at 74, Kevin Roy at 68, Potgieter at 65, with Day, Cam Young, and JJ Spahn. So 2 9s and a 10.
So yeah, superstars and scrubs. You've got what is that? $2,000 gap between 3 and 4 in that lineup. That's pretty big range. You're completely guttering the 8s and upper 7s. So you're cutting out, I don't know. I don't think it's that crazy of who you're cutting out, but that type of build, you have three cheapies and then 3 pay up options, and you cut out the entire mid range.
Is there a preference that you have to start this week? Because I think a lot of people, like, if they were just going to start a lineup, they'd be like, Ludwig, check. I think he's going to be the most popular play of the top end guys. And you can fit in Ludwig and Xander super easy if you want. But I think you can go like English McNeely or McNeely Zalatoris if you really wanted to pretty easily. And then you're still down in that $7,200 range where you can just play all the guys that we just mentioned. You could go Patrick Rogers, Andrew Novak, and then Alex Smalley.
John Perry.
Hey, play John Perry at the Sony. You want him at like short type courses. This is not that.
No, it's not. But yeah, I think the most common build is what's kind of on the screen right now, in the sense of people are going to have one 10K option, 2 9-ish, give or take, and then try to still avoid the 6s if they can. And that's very doable. If not, they'll have one 6K option, and then they'll move a Novak type to a upper 7s, which I think people will be comfortable with as well.
Well, let's try to fill that in. Who do you think would be the name that is catching everyone in the $6,000 range? Is it my main man, Seashell Necklace, Tricky Ricky Castillo at 69? Christoph Ventura, who had the top 10 at this course last year? The Smother Man? He's been making a run lately. People love, if his name, this happened with Bobo, and Bobo did catch a touchdown on championship weekend.
Of course he did.
But if his name wasn't Smother Man, do you think anyone would care about this guy?
No, yeah. If it was Chris Jones, Mike Smith, yeah, I don't think so. But Smotherman, Valimaki, what about Eckroat?
I bet on Eckroat at the Sony, and he missed like the world's easiest 2 putts in order to miss the cut, which cost me a ton of money. But this isn't necessarily a course where I think that I like him at. He does have pristine driving. The long irons are good, but I do worry about his short game enough that he's just not going to hit enough greens in regulation from like 200 yards out. Like, we'll wait for. Just think about the places where he's done well. He did well in Cabo, where he can hit it anywhere and just kind of attack pins. He won at PGA National. He's played well at Sony in the past. Like, I think that those are the type of, like, not necessarily easy courses, but again, more technical style courses, like a John Perry. He's in that like rotation of guys. Like, get him to Colonial, sure. If he can play his way into Heritage, I'm there for that. Maybe Valspar, a place like that. But here, it's a bit tougher.
I could see myself going to him on a showdown slate here. I could see him destroying the North.
Oh, really? See, I don't see that at all.
Really? Okay.
I am, if I'm going to go showdown and I'm going to go like the destroyers of the North, like give me who's down here. Like Potgieter's there. Stephen Fisk would be one that I'll just sort by driving distance and go with those guys.
What about Luke List?
I can't do it, man. He's won me too much money at this course in the past. I can't go back there. But you could throw like Rosenmuller and Phillips and Potgieter are all 65, 65, and 64. Like, I don't hate any of those guys.
Yeah, and again, this is all the salary relief you would ever need. I'd be interested to see how many people start like Ludwig and people will definitely do it, but like two tens basically. Oh, you just go 3 10s. That's dangerously insane.
There you go. Cantlay, Ludwig, Cam Young with Potgieter, Phillips, and Rosenmuller. I'm big on, if you're going to go like pure balanced this week, like where would you think that you would start? Like who would be like the high man? Would it be Spawn? Or do you think you'd be like, hey,
Yes.
I can start Goddard, McNeely, Pendrith?
Spawn, Keegan, something like that. And then you'll have room for like a Will Z easily if you want Pendrith. Yep.
Are you buying back in on Will Z?
So I'm definitely gonna have some exposure, but I think in general right now people are more interested in him than I am, so I might end up underweight by default.
Yeah, let's see if I can squeeze in. I ended up betting on Stam Stevens, and I'll go over my final card, and I'll have that in the Mayo Media newsletter, which will get released on Wednesday evening. Just sign up for free in the news, in the comment section here, and in the description. It'll also be on betsportsgolf.com as well. I really like Nikolai Højgaard. Trying to work in some of my guys here, see if we can do that. Take Rosie out. And where can we find? I guess do you like Noren?
Noren, did you say?
Yeah.
Of course. Oh yeah. I mean, if you want to talk about what you said at the top of the show, I think he's one of those players. He knows what he's doing. He can handle crazy conditions. He's grinded back. Like he's gonna end up back in the. I don't really follow the world golf rankings or whatever, but he is surging in that. He's right back to where he was.
I think it's the highest he may have ever been at the moment. I think he's like 12 or something like that. World number 13.
Yeah, that's like, I remember when he came over, when he used to win every week in Europe, and then he never, ever won for me.
But he did miss the cut at the American Express last week, so that's always good.
So he's fresh.
Yeah, he's good. He got to take Sunday off. He's good to go.
Yeah, watch the games, and he's good.
So you could do something balanced like this. It doesn't need to be this, but Goddard, Pendrith, Clark, Noren, Nikolai Højgaard, and Sam Stevens. It feels like a pretty good lineup. We've seen a lot of not necessarily like non-elite players win at this course and this tournament over the years, just not the very top of the board. It's like that next rung of guys, and these are all the next rung of guys.
Yeah, I mean, the win equity is somewhat, it's not like completely dispersed, because I honestly would be pretty shocked if like a complete rando won. But to your point, it's the, and Max Homa is going to be popular this week, given that. But it's those type of guys in years past. So, let's get this out of the way, because I can't talk about this topic. What are you going to do with Brooks?
I don't know. You know what's funny? I don't even know how much Brooks is. He's 8,000. Maybe play him. There's just too many guys around him that I like more, I guess, is the issue. Like, I really wanted to bet Jake Knapp this week, but his odds were ridiculous, so I did not bet him. But at $8,200, I can play him. I like Rasmus Højgaard. I like Aaron Rai. I like Thorbjornsson. I like Rose. Like, I think that I would power rank all those guys ahead of Brooks. Now, once the ownership projections come out and I get a better sense of that, if Brooks is going to be 6% owned, I probably will put some Brooks into my lineups. I can see him. Just the range of outcomes for him is so vast right now. I have no idea what he's been up to.
Yep. I couldn't agree more. Like, he's one of those where it's not the best analysis, but it's like, if you told me you wanted to bet him to miss the cut, I'd be like, yep, I see it. If you bet him outright, I also see that. But I prefer Rasmus as well. There's some bombers right there.
I'm gonna try to open this up.
Penjay, whatever that guy's name is, he's over there.
Which guy?
Marcus Pen. I can't pronounce his last name. He's from Europe. Super bomber.
Marco Penge?
Penge. There you go. I like to add the E.
Penji?
Penji.
Well, it's
like
I believe it's pronounced Penge, but that's me. Do you know that he was once suspended from the DP World Tour for betting?
For betting? So
yeah.
He's a man. Look at that. I like him even more now.
Yeah, he's man of the people.
Yeah.
So of these lineups that we've constructed so far, which one do you think that is more of a U-type lineup? We have this one that's Akshay, Day, Cam Young, Roy Spawn, Potgieter. This is what the optimizer spit out for us for projections. We have this Ludwig, English, McNeely, Rogers, Novak, Smalley type lineup, which I think is going to be the most common type of build that we have. Potgieter, Phillips, Rosenmuller, 3, 6, 65, 65, 64 with Cantlay, Ludwig, and Cam Young. Or then we get into this one that we just talked about: Noren, Goddard, Pendrith, Clark, Højgaard, Stevens. No player lower than 7,500. No player higher than $9,000. That sort of mid-tier section of when you take a look at the odds board, all these guys are 25 to 66 to 1.
So I think for me, lineup 2 is the most, I don't mean this in a bad way, like generic common build, and I get it. For me though, lineup 4, the lineup that's on the screen right now is well, that's the A-Bagger lineup, but yeah, the balance build I really like this week, because I think that you don't need to press salary savings. And I'm not sure, it's not to say I don't like Xander or Ludwig or those guys, I do, but do I like them that much more that I want to sacrifice at the bottom of my lineups? Not really, to be honest.
Well, how much do you think that you're sacrificing here? Because the worst player that we have in this particular lineup is Nikolai Højgaard. Now, I've bet on him to win. I think that he's going to be good this week. However, I think that you can make a pretty compelling case for some of these guys at the very low end of the 7,000s this week, be it, it probably wouldn't be Vince Whaley, although he rated out. Like, is there that big of a difference between the upside of Novak versus Nikolai Højgaard?
No, I don't think so. But I think the difference is, if you told me in this lineup you wanted to go get Xander, you're going to be doing, is there a difference between Pendrith and Novak or someone like that? Because you're not going to be able to squeeze them in.
It's true. Do you have any favorites this week of just like random guys? Because I got a few.
I mean, I'm not sure it's the best setup for him, but what about Sheamus again? I've been playing him.
How's that been going? Because I on your advice, I ended up playing him at the Sony, and he was like, okay. He was almost first round leader, then he stopped making putts for 2 days.
Yeah, that's exactly. I mean, see, let's just pretend he's just been. Look at that. He's coming off a T7, even though that's not true. That was during the swing season.
Yeah. Thank you for updating DraftKings.
But
this doesn't strike me as a Sheamus course, honestly.
No, it doesn't. But I like Denny McCarthy. Again, that's kind of an early season buy for me. I have no problem with him. Who else is on my?
Let's see, Sheamus Power, T31, T63 the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's fine.
I appreciate how did you change computers again? Because you don't have that weird delay anymore.
Yeah, I fixed this is my new computer, and it works like a normal computer now. It's quite lovely. But I have my other computer where I'm trying to just see. What about Olesen?
See, you're the second person who brought that up. I asked Jeff why he liked Thorbjorn Olesen, and he gave me some answer about pin seeking, and like he didn't really know who Thorbjorn Olesen was. So, what is it about Thorbjorn Olesen that everyone likes?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know anything about him. Thunder Bear, he's just. So the thing I like about him, he's another one, and maybe I do this. I don't know if you do this. Like, I remember one round vividly, and then I just like label the golfer as that. But like, Olesen's the type of guy I've seen him score in really difficult conditions. He definitely has the skill set to handle it. He scores in terms of raw points if he makes the cut. Price is there. He will not be popular. It's, to me, a perfect low-owned pivot in a pretty saturated range.
Just taking a look at the weather right now, I put it up on the screen for everyone. There's like no wind this week. It's wild. Not what you expect from this course.
Does that change kind of how you might group skill sets? Like, do you go more pin hunters because they can attack?
I think I would go more distance than anything, honestly. I think this leans back to some of the bombers. If we're going to get not wet conditions, like there's no rain in the forecast, there's no wind in the forecast, that guys can just kind of pound it wherever. They talk about how long the rough is at this course, and it's like 3.5, 4-inch rough. I don't find that anyone really ever has any problems with the rough. Do you? Like, if you hit it in the rough on a par 5, you're probably not going to get there in 2, but you just lay up to 100 yards and hit a wedge.
Yeah, you just have to be able to get a little creative. You're going to have some of those awkward distances. Yeah.
See, so from that perspective, I think that if the conditions were bad, I do think your call of Thorbjorn Olesen might be the move. I think I'd rather play Rasmus Nørgaard Peterson in this kind of same spot at $7,400 because he's just going to hit the ball 80 million miles.
Yeah, that is true. Again, that the weather does matter there. You have, Cootie on the screen, who's another guy that
Love Cootie.
I keep betting him, and it's there without being there. But
He's getting close. He just needs to. He drives it. His game is weirdly. He's not the iron player Keegan is. That's really his problem. But his game profiles like Keegan Bradley's a lot. He's pretty long off the tee. He's pretty accurate off the tee. He's somewhere in between Keegan and JJ Spawn when it comes to driving. Like Keegan is more accurate, but he's not as long. And Cootie's kind of like in between. He's a longer version of JJ Spawn, but with like more plus accuracy, but with truly horrendous approach play at times. So I think that this would be a good type of course for him, because unless you do what Ludwig did at the Genesis last year, where he just pin stocked like 8 holes in a row, it's just not a common occurrence here.
yeah, and like I said, it's just a weird. Some of these guys that I even want to talk about, I just don't know if I'm going to need to play them. Like I looked pretty damn closely at Celinda, and then I was just like, am I really going to need to do that at all?
I think all those guys that you might like, because I actually gave a hard look at Celinda as well, and I think that he profiles pretty well at this course. I think he was a part of my winning team last year in Showdown. Like
Run it back.
These are just Showdown guys, though, to me at least.
Yeah, they're showdown guys. That's more true than not.
Like get them at the easy course, they can go bombs away, go pin seeking, do whatever. Get them at the hard course, and it gets a bit trickier.
I hope Higo's popular. I'm gonna probably be underweight on Higo.
Yeah, I probably will too. How about at the top? Like, do you have a preference between Cantlay, Ludwig, and Xander? I'm just not going to play Cantlay.
Yeah, I might. He's another one. I keep betting Cantlay, and I tried to bet Cantlay last night with BYU, and then BYU lost. So now I'm not going to rebet him, and then he'll just win outright. That'll be a fun ticket to hold. But yeah, I think if I go up top, it'll just be probably pretty generic. I'll start with Ludwig, or I'll just play. I don't know about where Cam Young popularity wise. Obviously, he's going to garner some ownership, but maybe I just start with him. Like, yeah, on this team, that's a cool start.
I bet Cam Young this week, and I'm not normally a Cam Young bettor. In fact, I'm so confident in Cam Young that I gave him to Coolbet as my boost this week. So if you're in Canada, outside of Ontario, and you want to tail me with Cam Young, they have him boosted up to 26-1 right now. Good number.
That'll play. Speaking of Coolbet, I thought Vijay Singh for a second was going to come in the top 20. We had talked about that. Thought he was just going to get it out of the way instantly.
That bet is still up there under the PME exclusives. It's now 6-1. I bet it. I didn't bet it at plus 200. I did bet it at plus 600 though.
Good old VJ.
I'm not made of stone. Come on, 6-1 on a top 20 for all season.
I mean, yeah, my prediction was horrible on the show. I think I said minus 150. So clearly I don't know what I'm talking about, but he looked decent. That's for sure.
So you like Ludwig better than Cantlay and Xander. How about Day? Because I feel like Day, being a 2-time winner at this course, plus other really good results, putts incredibly well on POA over the years. And then coming off that Sunday he just had at the American Express, that I could see a lot gravitating towards him. And I'm kind of thinking that I might want to get on board with that too.
I like the spot. I just worry about what you just said, though. If he becomes, it could be one of these situations where he gets the double dip ownership, and I always hate that. He's the next man in Ludwig lineups, but he's also the starting point for balanced lineups, and then his ownership inflates. Not to say I don't like that, but I also have no problem just clicking like Spawn or Decky in the same situation.
So for me, I have no problem clicking Spawn. I don't know if I want anything to do with Hideki. And that always comes back to burn me when it happens. But he had one good, it's almost like his win at Sony. Like he has been awful at Sony most of his career, except for the year he gained 9 strokes putting and won the event. It's almost like here, I think he plays this tournament every single year. And then he spiked putting like one time and came inside the top 10. Other than that, he really hasn't done anything here. Let's take a quick look.
That's
here.
a Decky like run out. He does do that. I don't know. He probably sucked me back in. He showed some life. I had him. I thought he was going to miss the cut at Sony, and then he rallied a bit. But
he's been much better.
Start there.
You know, he's been better here than I would have expected. He came third in 2019. That was 7 years ago, mind you. 32nd last year, 13th, 9th, 30th, 53rd. Like, he makes the cut every year and then just can't really putt here like normal. Like, if he spikes in putting, more than live to win this event. That's not something I want to bank on.
Yeah, that's fair.
So I would go with Spawn instead, or Keegan.
Or listen, Keegan, if you're looking for like total driving things, like he fits a lot of what's going on here. 79, yeah. Celinda's I think $100 short.
Now, Celinda's 64. You could play Celinda here. You could play Rosenmuller here. You could play
Never mind then.
Kate Blanchett, 2-time Oscar winner at $6,500. Davis Riley, who popped for us in that modeling.
Marty do.
Oh, your boy Marty Dude, you played him last week, didn't you? I know you did.
I certainly did.
I've been playing David Ford every week. I don't know if this is a good David Ford course, though. Look at this guy. This guy's, of course, they don't have anything loaded in for him. I believe he came T10 last week. Guy's good. Guy's a real player. Just hits every fairway.
Yeah, that's like me with Kanaya. I play Kanaya every week. Every week.
I like Kanaya. This is not a course where I would want to play Kanaya at the Sony. I would not want to play him at the Farmers.
I don't anticipate playing him this week.
Like someone like Steven Fisk, who won in the swing season, I think that he might be a better look in this spot. I mean, we don't need to use Keegan here. Also, we can go balance 70 now. Would you prefer a Keegan Rosenmuller 2v2 versus a, let's see here, what do we do? Brooks Sam Stevens?
I mean, I don't like Brooks, so I would certainly prefer Homa and Denny McCarthy over Keegan and Rosenmuller.
It's funny that I wouldn't. I don't like Homa or Denny McCarthy this week.
Good. That's why I paired them up. You get them all out of the way in one lineup.
You know what? Listen, I'm here to listen to the guest. You're the guest. You're the expert, Ben, not me. So I'm listening to you. Hey, dude, that's
the lineup for sure.
Was it a throwback for you? How much did you win when you won the Masters Thunderdome that time?
I mean, I wish I had that now. It was a couple hundred thousand shekels, but yeah, it was a good time.
But that was the Patrick.
How long ago that was now?
It was the Patrick Reed year. It was 2018, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's been a while. That was when Ricky was storming. Like, times have changed.
I bring it up to say that like Patrick Reed is the hot bet for the Masters now.
Yeah, we're gonna run. I'm gonna run that same lineup back. Just get him and Ricky, Rory, Bryson, and whoever the hell else was in it. I think Paul Casey was in it. So that ship be sinking. But
you're not all in on Paul Casey on Live.
We need him back on. The tour they're hurting for star power, and when I think of star power and just casual interest, Paul Casey. My guy. Should we just be playing Gerard?
That's kind of where I did sort of I want to do this every week with Jeff, where it's like just instant thought. Like, you don't need to make the bets, but if someone asked you to build a betting card after just like first opening the odds and like whatever you know about the tournament at the time, like who would be your first clicks? And I was like, I'd go Cam Young, Goddard, Ryan Gerard, Stevens, Jake Knapp, Nikolai Højgaard, Pearson Coody. Like, those would be the 7 guys that are just like off the top of my head. Like, who did I want to bet here? Who do I like here? Like the blink test on it. Those would be the guys. And like, he's come second. He's came second 4 weeks in a row. Like, if he comes second here, he's going to be good.
Yeah. Doing everything I could ask for. And it's like, I don't know. I'm going to have to, I'm not even say force some in because it should be easy, but he's just, he has everything that I'm really looking for. The price is reasonable and certainly the form is there. So why am I resistant? And yeah, you get funneled to the easiest range in the whole card.
You can just go Gerard, Patrick, Rogers and be on your way.
That is, yeah. What about, this is just like a thing I guess I have to say every time now. What about Jordan Smith?
Sure.
Every time. I maybe am just inferring. I'm pretty sure he's got the driving that I want here.
I don't know. I can effort that for you. Maybe I'll effort that during the break. So here's what I want people to do. Actually, I'll take some questions because I saw people chatting in here. What's the feeling on Goddard? I like Goddard a lot. Like, I think a lot of my lineups are going to start Cam Young Goddard. That'd be me.
Yeah, he's the type of play I'm not really thinking about in the sense that if I land on him, and I'm sure I will, I'm very comfortable in any type of build with him.
We'll keep populate some questions in right now. Additionally, jump in we'll bring it up here, the Pat Mayo Experience Classic, the Pat Mayo Classic Farmers Insurance Open Draft on Underdog right now. It's $20 per entry. It's a 5 max, $1,000 to first. It is a complete flat payouts. You can only have 504 lineups total in it, and it'll fill probably by midday tomorrow. But we're going to do one of these drafts after the break. I'm going to hop in, and we'll see if we can get it populated for people. So if you guys want to jump in and draft against Ben and I, now is the time to go pump yourself into those drafts. And we're going to take some more questions. We'll go to break, then we'll come back because last week we didn't have enough people to fill it, like during the 5 seconds that I asked people to do it, Ben. I don't think Ben can hear me anymore. Ben, can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, good. Here's some questions. Cam Young, first round leader, is talking to me. I don't play first round leaders at these split courses. Do you?
Not really, because they slaughter the odds so badly. Even though I did play last week, I had Homa, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm gonna hit it. And then he made like a insane number on the par 5, and then Day just got the first round lead, and it was awful.
Ryan says, hey, we like major level player Brooks is coming in to prove himself again. I mean, I don't know what ever that means. What does it mean to prove yourself? Like, does he want to win this more than any other tournament he's ever played? I don't know. He's fucking Brooks.
Yeah, it's Brooks. I have no idea.
I just want to see something out of him next week, and I would feel comfortable betting him in Phoenix.
Yeah, it's reps for waste management. I agree.
Hoagie's had a hot start to the year. Wonder if people are going to go to him a little bit more. I doubt it, especially after he kind of fumbled the bag coming down the stretch, and then you get him at a course where this does not reek of Tom Hoagie.
Yeah, I don't really think. I just want to check can never find these guys. Let's see. Hoagie's, at 68 too. There's no way he's going to garner any serious ownership.
Yeah, Kevin Roy should garner the ownership of that area. If it was just me, or even Valimaki, who's won during the swing season. I hit a nice top 40 parlay here last year with him in it because he made like every putt coming down the stretch. It's always nice when your guys actually make putts. I'm not used to that, so it was like mind-blowing to me.
I learned that a couple years ago when I started playing when Taylor Montgomery was the thing. It was just like, this is insane. When he has a 6-footer, like there's a real chance he's going to make it. I've never experienced that before.
What else? Denny at 7,500 is fair. Oh, do you think that Niergaard, Peterson, and Gerard's projected ownership is too low? I think you add 10% to whatever the projection is. Here's the thing. Well, I'm talking out of both sides of my mouth because I said kind of the opposite to Jeff of people who know what's going on know who Rasmus Niergaard Peterson is. Most people who are playing DraftKings Golf don't know who he is, and they're not going to play him. And the models, I don't think, are going to like him just because he doesn't have enough data. The optimizer is not going to spit him out for you.
Yeah, I think those are two different. I agree with Ryan Gerard because he's got the combo of he's got some history to recent form. People have seen the name, but when you get Euros, it's really hard for them to be right off the bat. Like, I think super popular because there are even people who know golf. They haven't played these guys before, and not many people are that tuned into Europe. So yeah, that's a different situation. I agree.
Wrighton is the type of guy who can hammer the ball, played like a 10 handicap in the first event. Should we go back to him? I am going back to him this week. I was going to write him up in the newsletter, so I guess I'll just talk about it now. Ryan, stealing my thunder here, but yeah, he was awful at the Sony. He was the worst guy in the field, even from that like create a player dentist Pontus guy, who I think is in the field again this week. But Christoph Wrighton's the 32nd ranked player in the world and just had a very terrible week in his first start on the PGA Tour. I like him at harder courses. I think that he could be pretty good here.
Yeah, he's the type of guy. The beautiful thing about him, the upside is there. The ownership will not be. You're gonna have to take some of those weird results, and I don't worry about the Sony result at all.
One model I've run loves Akshay, but something feels off with him. 78 in round 3 at the Amex. I think that he made the bogey, fell outside the cut line, and was like, fuck this, I'm going home.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes I like to target guys. It's a little more when we get into the season, but guys that miss literally on the number or close to it because it looks worse than it is. Not all miscuts are equal, and it's somewhat high variance of slipping in and then moving up the board or just, slamming the trunk and going home.
We also saw that the wind picked up with the later guys on the course Saturday at the stadium course at Amex last week, and he was a part of that group. So it's what ended up happening to Nico. Scheffler just kept making 40-foot putts, so it didn't matter to him. But even he wasn't playing all that well coming home.
Yeah, I mean, he's immune to anything bad happening, but for the rest of the people, I don't have a strong take on Akshay, but he'll be a mid-range play that I'll put in the pool for sure.
He's not the type of guy that I would love to play here, but being a Pepperdine guy, I think he's very comfortable on these greens, that he can putt pretty well. We know that if the conditions are down, he would be one of the few people I would trust to go attack pins and actually make birdies in bunches. And he does hit a ton of fairways half the time, which is really nice. Like, he either has his driving on or it's completely off. If he has it this week, I think it'd be pretty good playing from the short grass. If he starts missing fairways, he's going to be hitting like 5 irons into these greens and he has no chance to score.
Shout out Pepperdine.
I
Yeah,
would love to go to
I never get Akshay right, but he has the right game. I think that it could translate here, particularly with those conditions.
I agree. So maybe we can work him in. Sahith's another one that I think I can end up working in. He's starting to play better golf again, and he just hits the ball farther than Akshay does, on average. Okay, so everyone go join the Underdog Pat Mayo Classic Draft right now. We will be drafting that right after this. Underdog's expanding the game. You already know their player picks. Pick higher or lower on player stats. Today, Underdog prediction markets are live in 25 states. Back your squad with spreads, handicap for closer game, or totals, higher, lower combined score, combined with player picks for bigger payouts. New customers play $5 on fantasy, get $75 in fantasy bonus entries. Code Mayo. Team picks, player picks, all on Underdog. Eat better, train smarter. Maybe stop pretending frozen mystery meat is good enough. And honestly, starting strong is the easiest way when the food doesn't suck to get yourself ready to start the new year. That's where Omaha Steaks comes in. Premium, perfectly portioned protein shipped straight to my door. No guessing, no waste, just legit quality that actually fuels what you're trying to do. I loaded up on their USDA certified tender steaks and gourmet burgers, threw a couple fillets on the grill, which is out my back door, and there's not that much snow, so I can access it pretty easily. Salt, pepper, done, instantly tender. Way more flavor, better texture, zero stress compared to anything I've really cooked before. Let Omaha Steaks deliver high-quality proteins right to your door. Visit omahasteaks.com and get an extra $35 off with promo code MAYO at checkout. That's OMAHA steaks.com, promo code MAYO. Terms apply. See site for details. Code Mayo at Underdog if you want to join right now. There's a bunch of great drafts going on. Obviously, we did the best ball stuff. There's going to be like I wouldn't say free giveaways, but there's going to be free squares and a lot of promos, Ben, with Super Bowl coming up next week that you could probably translate over to golf if you really wanted to. They're offering like 40% boosts on the pick'em game, but I've been really enjoying the snake drafts. We drew the 6th pick in the Underdog draft. It's us versus 5 other people. We draft 6 golfers. So the strategy, I'm still trying to work through what the strategy is going to be for this. I'm guessing that it's no different. Just get 5 guys through the cut. Or get 6 guys.
That was my first thought. Just let's pick good golfers. A bold strategy that seems to always work.
ADP right now is going Xander, Cantlay, Ludwig, Goddard, Cam Young, Siwoo, which I thought was pretty interesting that Siwoo was going with the 6th pick. Like, would you have him at number 6 here?
Probably not. I think I would have. Well, let's see. Interesting. I'm not surprised that Goddard's amongst those names, but if you're thinking about the salaries, he's probably a little inflated. Maybe for me, Spawn or Day.
Yeah, there is no salary here. You're just drafting players.
Exactly. So, like, yeah, if you think about the what's Goddard up in terms of he is the 11th most expensive salaried guy, but his ADP is much higher than that.
So the first pick went with Xander, and then this guy, JMO, who's in second spot here, is doing like auto draft. He ends up taking Patrick Cantlay. Hopefully everyone's not just like timing out their picks in 30 seconds. That does not make very compelling podcasting. But knowing that those two are off the board, like I would have taken Ludwig first, honestly. Ludwig or Cam.
So would I.
Goddard goes third.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I like Goddard a lot, but that surprises me.
You like? Would you have taken him over Ludwig with all things being equal?
No.
Then Cam Young goes. Then Ludwig, of course. Cam Young and Goddard, Cam Young, Ludwig. So we're 20 seconds here. What?
Some things never change.
Do you like Spawn or Day more?
I like either of those over Siwoo. I'll say that much. Probably Spawn for me.
Wait, you want to go because we have back-to-back picks here. Do you want to go Spawn then Day?
Yeah. A little 1-2 combo.
Well, I'll go Spawn first because Day is still there. Knapp is there. Thorbjornsen, Hideki, McNeely, your boy Gerard. They're all kind of here. I think it's Day.
Yeah, I do too.
All right.
It's a good start.
Our start is Spawn Day. Don't hate that. Wish we would have had one of the three guys that got drafted just in front of us. That would have been nice. It's very tilting. Getting the sixth pick.
I thought we were going to get Ludwig.
In this, imagine getting sixth pick in a contest named after yourself. That's horrible.
The respect levels are quite wow. Harris English, okay.
Harris English, Hideki goes next. I find this is a good. I mean, it's once you do enough of them, I actually think this gives you a good lean into where people are going on DraftKings as well. That especially in the Pat Mayo Open, where it's a bit more of a sharp audience, guys that are paying more attention. Ben has dropped off the line. We'll get him back in a second. But the point being that once you can see where people without salary end up going, if there's guys that are lower in salary, like Gerard just went ahead of McNeely. I mean, the fact that McNeely hasn't gone yet is actually somewhat surprising to me, knowing that he's at $8,900 on DraftKings and he's still just lingering. Like Nikolai Højgaard just went ahead of him. I like Nikolai Højgaard, but due to 66-1, McNeely's like 28-1 in this regard. So it starts to get my mind working that Siwoo is not going to be very popular because he went in the second round. Højgaard is going to be way too popular, and Ben, no one's using McNeely. McNeely hasn't been drafted yet.
Yeah, that is. I got so excited at our team, I had to shut off my camera. It was too absurd.
Do you agree with my point of seeing this through though this way, that if you start seeing bigger names that just don't get drafted without salary, chances are that with their higher price salary on DK, no one's playing them?
100%. There's you can see who people are quote unquote reaching for and who people are maybe not in love with here.
So people that they've reached for, Nikolai Højgaard 1, Sam Stevens 2 would be the two guys that people have reached for in my mind versus their DraftKings pricing in this draft so far.
Mm-hmm.
There's I thought McNeely was going to make it to us. That would have been nice. So McNeely and Thorbjornsen go. We still have Keegan on the board here, by the way.
And Cootie.
Keegan, well, you go Keegan Noren?
Oh, I mean,
So like Pendrith is Noren, Cootie, Pendrith, Homa, Zalatoris, Rose, Scott, Rasmus, Brooks are all still here. Like people drafted Wyndham Clark and Jake Knapp and Nikolai Højgaard over these guys.
As much as I like Cootie, I feel like we got to go with one of these other dudes.
I think we got to go with Noren or Pendrith, don't we?
Yeah, I agree.
Pick.
Noren. Yeah. Always Noren.
I opened Noren knowing you were going to say Noren. I like her. It's funny that we've now drafted sort of that balanced build that you alluded to earlier. That I think it's almost be exactly the same team we played on DraftKings somehow.
Yeah, but we're going to be able, not that I think this is a great thing to do, but I do this in a lot of drafts and whatnot when I do these things. Like if you add up your salary and it's a team that you cannot build on a salary cap game, that's not the worst thing in the world. It shows you got maybe you're just attacking some inefficient pricing, but maybe you have some really good plays in there too.
So what do you think that we do with our final two picks here? We have Cootie is still there. Brooks, Zalatoris, Rose, Scott, like a lot of the guys I just mentioned. Now we still have like eight picks to go before it's our pick again. But I'm just trying to see like who's kind of falling here. Haotong, Akshay, Davis Riley. We haven't really talked about Grazerman at all. Do you like Grazerman this week? There's Patrick Rogers. So you like his ownership's gonna be like 18% on DraftKings.
My God. Yeah, I'm okay with him. I don't think he's my like high priority, but I imagine I'll be around the field and definitely has some upside. Sure.
Yeah. There's Zalatoris. Zalatoris finally goes. I'm good with fading Zalatoris this week, just not using him.
Again, I'm going to end up shorting him just by default because I think people are very high on him.
People are very high on him, and I don't know what we've actually seen from him to indicate that he's back yet. Like, if he was 7,400 in this field, yeah, but he's in a range with guys who are the same skill set and playing better.
Yeah, I think people want to play him.
I want to play him. I want him to be good. It's just I haven't seen any of that yet. So Patrick goes Homa, Rogers, Zalatoris, Pearson, Cootie, Marco Penge.
Benji, nice.
P-I-N-G-O?
Yeah, exactly.
No one has taken Brooks in this draft. I don't know if this is the format where you'd want to take Brooks, honestly. Made cuts are so important for something like this that just having a completely untrustworthy guy, their Brooks just finally went. So Rose, Scott, Rasmus, Valimaki are the next four in terms of ADP. Then it's the Gala, Matt McCarty, Justin Rose just went off the board. I think Rose actually would have been a nice pick for our team. Rasmus Højgaard is just going to be here, it looks like.
Yeah, I hope so.
Nope, wrong. No, that was absolutely wrong.
Well, now it's going to get real weird.
We can go with like a Rasmus Niergaard Peterson, or we can just take Thigala, who I think has been quietly pretty good so far.
Yeah, I'm fine with Thigala.
And we'll reset our clock with Thigala. McGreevy, who everyone loved 2 weeks ago, and everyone hates his guts. I would be more prone in a draft like this. Like, I love Johnny Kiefer this week, and no one's really taking him. We didn't even talk about him yet. Do you want to draft Johnny Kiefer?
Sure. So he shares a name with the best golfer that I know, Maximilian. So, yeah, shame he's not in the field.
Yeah, eventually, someday, maybe he'll qualify for the PGA Tour. Who knows?
I think that ship has sailed, but there's always hoping.
So we can take a look at how this draft went. You can see this up on the screen, right?
Oh, absolutely. Yep.
So Michael Brennan just went in the draft. We see like kind of the final picks here. Anything stand out to you? Like anything that you can take away from this board of how you think that ownership, high or low, might go on some of these guys? I know that we've identified them a little bit, but seeing Nikolai, I mean, this could just be one guy, and I would think that you'd want to do 5 drafts or 6 drafts to see where they're going. But that Nikolai Højgaard sticks out to me like a sore thumb.
He sticks out to me. Patrick Rogers sticks out to me. Gotterup going again. It is just one draft, but Gotterup going ahead of guys that are in the 10K range. I mean, that's a little surprising. And then the like Pendrith for that, like Pendrith falls that upper 8K range. You're gonna have some real targets.
So when we click back over to DraftKings and try to use this information, if we were trying to build, so we don't need to build 6 guys, obviously, who are completely contrarian. But from what we just saw, no one's using Keegan, Pendrith, or Noren, right?
Yeah.
And other guys of that range that people skipped over, who would be there?
Did people use Decky?
Yeah,
somebody used them. Obviously.
I believe that Decky went in the first round. Let's see. Yeah. No, he went 6, 7, 8, 9th overall.
That's about right, though.
Yeah, Siwoo was someone no one was going to use. I completely agree. I wouldn't want to use Siwoo either in this spot. But if we start going down a little bit, like no one used Rasmus Højgaard fell a ton, didn't he?
Yep.
He fell a ton. Higo fell a ton. And then you're back up into like Knapp. Adam Scott was the guy who fell. Well, Brooks or Adam Scott. I think that Brooks went ahead of Adam Scott. See, we're going this way on it. We're going that way. Yeah, Brooks, Justin Rose, Adam Scott went boom, 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 back to back to back to back. Whoa, now I'm on Lord knows what in terms of tabs. So yeah, we can go to Adam Scott. Like there's the lineup. Keegan, Pendrith, Noren, Rasmus, Higo, Adam Scott. That again kind of fits that mantra that you were talking about. You don't need to use the 6 most like faded guys going, but some variation of this lineup I think works.
I love these type of lineups. Good ownership, leverage. It works, and you have a lot of win equity there. These are that next tier. These are the type of guys that absolutely can win Farmers, no doubt.
So if we play that lineup, I think that worked. Did that enter for me? I had to go like click out of cookies and clear my cache midway through that draft so it would work. So I might not even be logged in anymore for all I know. It doesn't seem to be working. So if we kind of take that lineup, hell, let's just do it this way. Take this lineup and make it into a real lineup where you don't play 6 guys who are completely faded from the move. Where do you think that the move would be here? Do you move Higo down into someone a bit more that we kind of like, who's still not completely overowned, but like if you turn Higo into Cootie, for example, or how much is Kiefer?
Sure.
Kiefer 7,000. Let's just turn him into Kiefer. I like Kiefer a lot this week. I thought he played tremendously down the stretch around 3 and 4 last week, and he's kind of built for this kind of course, coming off being the Corn Ferry Player of the Year. Maybe it's a bit too much in terms of difficulty, but his skill set, I think, fits it pretty well. Now, if this is the case, and we just have $700 remaining, we can go from
Scott to Gerard for May.
Scott to Gerard is a move. You could go Scott to Gerard. Now we're looking at, I mean, I like that 2v2. Scott and Higo versus Kiefer and Gerard. I actually like Kiefer and Gerard just objectively better in that sense. Do I. And then we could probably find our way up to Day or Cam Young if we really wanted to. You could go Keegan and Rasmus and turn those into 2 other guys, I think.
Yeah, like and you're going to probably land in that Patrick Rogers range for the Rasmus pick.
I think you can go to Stevens here. Yeah, you can go
that way.
Yeah, the 2v2 is Keegan and Noren versus Cam Young and Sam Stevens. I like those 2 better as well. I think everyone kind of likes those 2 better as well. But now we still have Gerard, Kiefer. We still have Pendrith in there. We still have Rasmus Højgaard in there, who we both identified as maybe guys not going as high as they should. I really like this lineup now.
I mean, that's how that is the way I like to build, which is I start with something that's a little over the top, and then I start to slowly refine it. Like the first 6 guys we have, that was ultra aggressive, and then we said, okay, 2v2, I like this 2v2 better. 2v2 again, I like that 2v2 better. And now you have a variation. Then you can go the other direction and make like those cascading builds.
Yeah, the only other move that I think that we have here, if we play a 2v2 again, I like Stevens enough. I like Rasmus Højgaard enough. But was it $7,500? You could go to Cootie. You could just turn Nikolai into, or turn Rasmus into Nikolai, who's a bit overdrafted as we found, and then you can turn Pendrith into Goddard. And now it's like almost a semi-chalky lineup at this point.
Yep. Yeah, you have so many options there. You could go get Ludwig if you wanted to from Cam Young. There's so many 2v2s in there.
And we'll settle on this one. And we'll go back. We'll go back to the chat and answer some questions before we get out of here. What's going on over at Tails? Tell me about that again.
Yeah, listen, Tails, I'm sure a lot of you guys have been over there, but if you haven't, it's just been fantastic. We're just curating so many people dropping content. You can tail the bets in one click, so you don't have to find the plays, all of that stuff. And for me, with college basketball, PGA, NBA, I'm betting hockey like a savage. It's great. And I'm actually, for anyone that wants it, just for the Mayo audience, I have a free trial right now. So if you want to just come grab some bets for this tournament or get some college basketball for free tonight, if you go over to tails.bet, you search Jazzraz, just click free trial. It's in my Twitter bio as well. And yeah, it's just a great play to get some quality content.
Here's some questions for you. You ready?
I'm ready.
Do we play Wyndham Clark in good form before he destroys a locker room? I don't hate Wyndham Clark here. I'm thinking about betting him as well.
Rather bet him than play him.
Okay.
That's kind of, I'd rather bet him than play him.
Thoughts on Bausu this week? That was the biggest sweat Bausu, I think is Bauchu. I think the CH is pronounced like an S in his name.
That guy.
He was playing with Dayan Fowler. I bet him to win at 1,000 to 1 last week, but I also had his top 8 for 200 to 1, and he came 10th.
I saw you sweating that, and I saw you tweeted that he was probably going to miss, but then he didn't.
He did miss, though, is the thing.
Well, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, I thought he had to get to minus 22, and he had a putt on the third to last hole from 6 feet to get to minus 22, and he missed it. And then he had a putt for birdie on 17 from 17 feet and missed it. Then he hit into the water on 18.
Yeah, I just don't think you need to go that low unless you're going. He's down there with Aaron Wise.
Oh my, Aaron Wise is in this field? Good Lord.
That's what they tell me.
Don't believe it. Don't believe it for a second.
Well, when he's hoisting the trophy, you better believe it.
Are you in on Garrick Higo at $7,600? We both seem like we're kind of out. I like Higo, but in Showdown for sure at the North Course, but I just like him at easy courses.
Agree. Yeah, like I was betting him on the Corn Ferry when he was shooting 25 under. He was doing some real good work.
For one and done, do you like Goddard, Day, or Pendrith? I kind of like Day.
It would be, if I had to order him, it would be Day, Goddard, Pendrith.
I think you can use Goddard elsewhere, would be my answer to that. And I like Day more than Pendrith.
Yeah, I'm in line with that.
Ben is the king of handball picks. If you follow him on Tails, stay for his Winter Olympics picks. Guess what I have coming on Thursday?
A little Milan breakdown.
It's not so much of a breakdown. It's me, Custon, Jeff talking about the Winter Olympics for an hour.
That's a breakdown to me.
And I have maybe the biggest freak out I've had in 2 years on the show.
Ooh,
just yelling at Tim.
That I will be tuning in.
I accused him of having a brain injury.
Yeah, I'll be betting the Olympics over on Tails, no doubt about it.
I am going to have Morency on. I'm going to record that tomorrow for Big Picks. I'm also trying to get Meanie and Jake together to preview the hockey. And I do have a curling guy. You always have to have a curling guy in your back pocket who can break down both the mixed, the women's, and the men's. And we'll see if we can get in. I mean, Coolbet's going to have all this stuff up because like they're big on curling that maybe we can take. I don't want to take advantage of the sponsor too much, but I do want to win their money. I'm not going to lie to you.
Yeah, I've been known to bet a little curling here and there.
Let's see. Will there be a Judge Cuss segment on the Winter Olympics show? Yes, 3 new cases for Judge Cuss to weigh in on. Do you think that stacking the North Course and Showdown will be overowned in any contest on DK? It won't be. If people aren't doing it 100%, Ben, it's not owned enough.
That'll be rake free for every person that doesn't do it. So,
see, Morency loves Italy and mixed double curling. I'm sure he'll talk about it then on the show.
Okay.
That sounds like a you bet right there. Bet on Italy and mixed curling at the Olympics.
Yeah, that's right in my wheelhouse of things that are dangerous.
Yeah, I see what James is saying. That do you think that people are going to be overowned because of the North Course? Yes, I do, but that's not a reason to take guys at a super hard course. Just go with it and pick different guys.
They should be. Yeah, they should be overowned.
I think that's good. I'm going to do a live chat on Wednesday, and I was sick last week, so I had to cancel at the last second. That'll be 8 p.m. Eastern time Wednesday evening. If you have any final thoughts, questions, whatever it might be on the Farmers Insurance Open or just life in general, maybe. We'll see. You can come over there and ask. Tails, is it tails.com or is it like the Tails app?
It's an app. You can download it for free, but you can also go to tails.bet. You can go to oddshopper.com. It's all one and the same, but the app is actually... I'm not with the times, but our devs, they know what they're doing, and they made a sick app. So everyone just uses the app these days.
We're trying to get the app back up and running for the leaderboard app for golf, which was the best app going. But when it transfers ownership, other devs have to come in. I wish I knew something about dev work, Ben, because I don't.
I don't either. Luckily, we've got some real good ones because it's wild times of what they can do. Yeah, but you got to get on Claude, they'll do it for you, apparently.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. So if you're on Fantasy National, you can get your BetSperts Golf account for the rabbit hole if you just email support@fantasynational.com. If the automatic transfer didn't work over, again, it was this way last week too, but I'm reminding you again to go do that. You get your account set up over there, then you'll have access to both sites, just in case Fantasy National is being a bit slow, because here's some inside info for you, Ben. The entire site had to be rewritten. It was written in such old code. I don't know what that means, but that doesn't sound good.
No, hieroglyphics season. Well beyond my expertise, but I guess they did a little reworking, and now we'll be better than ever.
That's right, and you'll be able to have access at both sites. Ron Kloss at PGA Splits 101 on Twitter and of BetSperts Golf is offering anyone who's coming over from Fantasy National to BetSperts Golf. If you're unfamiliar with how everything works, there are tutorials up there. My Sunday show where I do the research on the screen, you can see how I do it. But if you want him to tell you how to do it, or if you just want to talk to him about different features of the site, he said his DMs are open, so just follow him, ask him some questions. I thought that was pretty cool of Ron to do.
Yeah, good people. And that's really good stuff. So I'm excited. I'm excited to see this play out and hopefully make some money.
When are Thursday tee times released? If I had a good answer for you, I'd let you know, but it seems to be whenever that they decide that they want to do that.
That's true.
Like
It's a mystery.
It was Tuesday at midnight in the first week. It was like 9 a.m. Tuesday last week, and now they're still not out as we're talking right now. So who the fuck knows?
Yeah.
You think it's a professional organization, they'd have a standardized time for this? They don't.
No, they don't. It's they keep us guessing.
Yeah, that's the one thing that we like to. I mean, that's what this show is. It's just guessing. So maybe we can get 7 p.m. Eastern time. I'm guessing for the tee times. That's what I'm guessing.
Put in Sharpie.
I will be back with Keith Stewart on Wednesday morning for the final word on the week. Final betting card, one and done. Thoughts about the course from a guy who is, I don't think he's going to be at the course this week. He'll be at Phoenix next week, but he was at the Farmers last year. We'll tell you all about the course, build out some new models, and get Keith's insights into everything. So please tune in to that on Wednesday morning. For us, you smash the like while you're here. You sub to the channel. I'll be live at 8 p.m. Eastern time on Wednesday, taking more of your questions. And we got Olympics and other stuff going on. Stay tuned to the Pat Mayo Experience. All right? I'll see you next time.